Hey, you guys, it's Dr. Goggin, and today we're going to talk about biotech that you can use to balance your nervous system. This also helps with your cardiovascular system, but it's new technology that some of you already have, and it's the Apollo Neuro wristband. Now, the Apollo Neuro wristband probably has some superpowers that you don't even know about, and I want to make sure that if you have one, that you're using it to its full extent. And if you don't have one, you really look into getting one. Okay, so what is the Apollo Neuro wristband? Well, basically looks like this. Okay, and you see it's just a little wristband. It comes in different colors that you may select, right? The stealth, I like the stealth, and it's very comfortable to wear. It's not bulky, and the basic idea here is that it gives you a little vibration on your wrist. And when the band vibrates, it sends a basically a calming message or an energetic message, depending on the kind of message you're trying to send your soul. And so I want to tell you a little bit about the research so you'll understand the power of it, because it's really pretty cool. Because balancing your nervous system is so important right now in our lives. We live in this place where we are way out of balance. We are like sympathetic dominant. So it's almost like our body is acting as though we're expecting, a lion or a tiger to pounce because we are stressed out and our body doesn't know any difference. And as we go through life and we're trying to get our body back into balance, we need to move more into the rest and digest kind of phase, like you see the sweet little baby here. Babies are really good at resting and digesting. And so we all could take a lesson there, because that's truly what we want. We want that parasympathetic to be more dominant than the sympathetic. Sympathetic is your fight or flight, running from a bear, running from a tiger. Your parasympathetic is your rest and digest. And what is understood is that our parasympathetic nervous system responds to vibration, it responds to touch, it responds to meditation. So there are many different ways that we can reach that system. It responds to microcurrent too. Those of you who have frequency specific microcurrent, that's something also. There's a vagus program. The primary nerve in the parasympathetic branch of the nervous system is actually the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve helps control something called heart rate variability. Okay, so heart rate variability is how your heart bounces a little faster, a little slower in between beats. So it's beat to beat variability. It's not like, oh, I have a very high pulse or a very low pulse. It's actually measuring the time in between beats. And what we want is we want variation there. It means our body is actively responding to what's happening in our environment. The problem is when people have low heart rate variability, it's linked with quite a few issues and problems in with our body. If somebody is not sleeping well or exhausted or sick, there's some underlying root cause there, they will have low heart rate variability. And it's associated with increased risk of quite a few troubles. The biggest one of which is increased risk of mortality, right? If you have very low heart rate variability, can be linked with heart disease, anxiety, depression, a lot of mood problems. And of course, we know that when we're under stress, we're not going to sleep as well. And it also can be linked with chronic pain. So we want to focus on doing all those lifestyle interventions as much as we can, but sometimes we need a leg up, right? And so when we need a leg up, what might we use? Well, high heart rate variability. It would be great if we could just snap our fingers and have it. Spoiler alert, you can actually put on a wristband and have it. um, and when we have high heart rate variability, it is usually related to us sleeping well, maybe having a mindfulness practice, exercising, eating well, healthy relationships, all those things that we're striving for correspond with high heart rate variability. And so you're more likely to have better ability to like get focused and really work on what you're trying to work on, stay calm in a pinch, better exercise performance, blood pressure will be better, sleep and resilience. All these things look better when we have higher heart rate variability. So it's like, how can we get it? Is there a fast way to get it, right? Short of doing a ton of meditation. Yeah, in fact, there is. So the research done by the Apollo Neuro. And it's nice because they had double-blind, placebo-controlled trials, and this one is a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial. And they took 38 people and they put them through this kind of test that causes anxiety. It's meant to cause anxiety, right? It's the paced auditory serial addition test, where you're adding, 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 and people get more and more stressed out in it. And what they found is that with the placebo or no intervention, there was no change or a decrease in heart rate variability. Like, people started to show their stress by dropping that heart rate variability. But if they had the Apollo intervention, the vibrating wristband, people showed an improvement of heart rate variability 2 to 3 times normal, and perform better on their cognitive testing, right? I mean, that's pretty cool when you can just put a wristband on and have that kind of effect. In another study, 500 people showing it improved sleep, and those people had the Aura ring so they could follow it and gauge. They saw 19% increase in deep sleep, 14% REM, 11% improvement in HRV, and this is the same amount of improvement that you'd be seeing in somebody who started to meditate or started to exercise. So, not that we shouldn't start to do those things, but this can give you a leg up. It means that your body is more resilient, and a person who is sleeping better is feeling better. So, feel better first, right? Another one is how wearing the Apollo will deepen meditation. So, beginner meditators are able to, within about 12 minutes, get their brains into a state of meditation as though they were a longtime meditator. And that is really cool because it takes time to develop the ability to go deep. And the experienced meditators also felt like they could go deep more quickly when they were meditating. And the more we can get our brain waves shifted into that deep meditative state, rest and digest is going to be activated. Your vagus nerve is going to be activated. And so this is very cool. It is a more powerful than any medicine that we can give you is the power of activating the vagus and improving your heart rate variability through meditation. But if you can get the same improvement with Apollo Neuro, at least to get you going, it's definitely worth it. Here's another one showing reduction in nursing staff stress by 40%. Guys, oh my gosh, I was a nursing assistant, and then I was a nurse in intensive care unit for 6 years before I went to medical school. And let me just tell you that that is one hard job. And at the end of the day, you're dog tired because you've been on your feet all day and you've been dealing with a lot of stressful events. It was very stressful. And if I had had an Apollo Neuro, I sure would have been wearing that, showing improvement in mood, improvement in stress, energy, focus, all of these things. That's really neat. Um, so if you have an Apollo Neuro, this can rejuvenate you. Okay, so that's worth putting on. There's an app that can control and automatically run programs for you. All right. And so if you haven't updated your app and you have an Apollo Neuro, I'm happy to help you to understand how you can automatically run programs throughout the day. It necessitates then that you actually at night charge it back up, right? But it's well worth it. People who used it for at least 3 hours a day have the best results. Okay, so that's important to think about is how do you use it 3 hours a day? It's really easy. All you have to do is get the app, and remember that time that you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. Okay, so anytime you can relax, feel good, try and slow down, that is worth it. And I will see you guys on the next video.